Hey there. So, day three, I want to tell you about a lesson that my mom taught me that is becoming more and more relevant the older I get. And one of her sayings is, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. And I didn't really know what that meant until I got into the day to day of my adult life and learned that self care is something that a lot of people are not very good at, and myself included. And I'm very good at getting things done, but I'm not good at taking time to recharge and make sure that I'm doing what I need to do in order to really present my best self and my best work. So I want to tell you a story related to that. I went to crank up my car a couple of days ago and realized that my car battery wasn't quite dead, but it was dying. I was having trouble cranking up my car. I have a portable battery that you can jump off your own car with, which is really awesome. It's one of my favorite things. So I can quickly jump my car battery off and get going, and it's no big deal. Um, but I decided, like a normal person would, to go and make an appointment to get my battery checked and replace it so that I wouldn't have to worry about jumping off my car if that day my battery didn't decide that it wanted to wake up and work. So I did that, and of course, my car drives fine now, but it really got me thinking about my life a few years ago and my life now and how I approached getting things done and getting going and trying to maintain my life. A few years ago, I went through treatment for a very debilitating chronic illness, and self care was the furthest thing from my mind. And some of you that are watching may also empathize with having small children or having to work more than one job or having obligations and responsibilities or resource constraints that make taking care of yourself really challenging. You say, well, I can't go get a massage, or I can't go get a pedicure, or I can't just take time off for vacation. And that's not really what I'm talking about when I talk about self care. For me, self care is really making sure to take the time to recharge in any way that makes sense for you. And that manifests itself in a variety of ways for me. But like I said, I was going through treatment for an illness, and I know what it's like to get up every morning and focus on not dying and focus on keeping a job so that I can keep health insurance. I know what it's like to laugh when people say you need to make sure you're exercising, when I'm like, just walking into the kitchen can be really hard. So at that time in my life, I was a lot more like the battery that had to get jumped off every time I needed to crank the car, and it was really hard to get ahead, if you will, and focus on making sure that I was in a place where I was performing well and doing the things that I need to do from a place of self care and abundance and rest, and really taking time to make sure that I'm doing what I need to do to take care of me so that I can do all the other things that I need to do for other people and my obligations. So fortunately, I'm really healthy now, and I am at a place where I have no excuse not to take better care of myself in a preventative way. So I wanted to share a couple of things that I've learned on replacing the battery, if you will, and trying to keep my life going. The first thing is that one of my favorite sayings is 1 minute of planning eliminates 5 minutes of doing. So I want to share with you my favorite item in the whole world, which is my day designer. This planner says the strategic planner and daily agenda for living a well-designed life. And I'm actually a strategic planning consultant sometimes, and I'm trying to practice what I preach with business owners and make sure that I am strategically planning my time and resources in order to perform optimally. So some of the things that I do are block off my Sundays for rest and for taking care of myself and my home, and prepping my food for the week and making sure that I have time to regroup and really think through my week and everything that I need to do and finish any last minute tasks. In addition, I've also learned that you have to really make attainable goals and really focus on what the end product is that you want to achieve versus how to get there. So, for example, one of the things that's really important to me is nutrition, especially being someone who has dealt with an illness and really needs to maintain a healthy diet in order to stay well. So I thought that I really needed to cook all of my meals at home and make sure that I was preparing good, wholesome, fresh foods and be kind of a food Nazi, if you will, about all the things that I was putting in my body. And that takes a lot of prep time. And I was getting so overwhelmed with preparing food and keeping up with what I needed to do that I was failing, because I was so focused on all of the things that I felt like I should be incorporating in my diet and the way I should be preparing my food. And what I've learned now is that I am really good at using a crock pot and preparing my meals on Sundays and putting them in mason jars and pulling them out when I need to throughout the week. And no, I'm not going to get up in the morning and make salmon and eggs so I get a high protein breakfast, but I will drink a high quality protein shake. I'm learning to be more efficient in making sure that my self care doesn't become another burden in my life, and that it's something that's supporting making sure that I'm doing the things that I need to do. Um, Speaking of mason jars, another thing that I had to overcome was the personal shame in making my life easier. So, when your life is hard for a long time, it's easy to think that it's supposed to be, and life doesn't have to be hard, even though sometimes it is. So, I am an Amazon Prime member, and I've gotten to the point where I even order paper towels on Amazon and get them delivered to my house when I know I need them. I have regular pantry shipments, so I don't really have to go to the grocery store except for fresh food. And people make fun of me because I've ordered things like crazy glue on Amazon, and they're like, well, Carly, why don't you just go out to the store and buy it? And if I need it that day, I will. But if I'm planning a project, I order everything from one place and have it delivered. And it's just less stress for me. So have tools and resources available to you to make your life more efficient, then I say go for it, even if it's a little silly or there are things that other people might think are unconventional. I'm learning that being more efficient and being more mindful and really focusing on my end goal of what I want to accomplish and being a little bit more forgiving and accepting on the way to get there is helpful. And also scheduling time to rest and make sure that I'm taking care of me, because if I don't take care of me, I can't do all of the things that I need to do to help and support other people. So here's to a year focused on self care, and I'll let you know how well I follow my own advice.